everyone. We're Sonic Ninja Gamer here, and yeah, I'm still a bit of shock about what happened last time, but it's been a couple days. I should be fine now. So, last time scars were revealed. The adult content filter doesn't work as I thought it did, and yeah. Anyways, here we back. Here we are. My eyes feel heavy as they slowly open. Am I gonna need a sense of the very beginning? Yeah, my eyes feel heavy as they slowly open. The light from outside making me blink a bit to let them get adjusted. My body feels like lead, and my head feels just as heavy. Waking up to an unfamiliar ceiling is an uncomfortable feeling. Reminds me of the first time I woke up to a dimpled white tile ceiling of the hospital. It's only been after spending a few seconds staring up at it that I realize where I am. This is Hanako's dormitory room. I feel as though my heart stopped again, as the events of last night rushed through my head. Blood rushes to my cheeks, and I shut my eyes once more. Yeah! There's very little point in getting myself woke up this early, though. So I try to push such things out of my mind for now. I roll my head to the side to see if Hanako's where she was when I drifted off to sleep. And that's there now is an empty space on the bed, and the room beyond. I sluggishly sit up and rub my eyes, before pinching the bridge of my nose and looking around the room. The only person here is me. I'm still bereft of my clothes, and after a quick scan of the floor for them, I notice that they're neatly folded in the corner of the room. Try as I might, I can't see Hanako anywhere. The foil packet from the pushed into the bed. I still don't know why! By the way, that's what I was gonna mention. I actually watched the scene afterwards, and the only thing of note is that for some reason he carries them on him. With a great yawn, I get myself out of bed and quickly look for some. I grimace a little at the prospect of putting my boxers back on after yesterday's effort did a job on them, but I don't have much choice. Taking advantage of the fact that I have some time without anyone around, I get myself dressed for the coming school day in short order. And then, I'm alone. Without anything more to busy myself with, my mind becomes focused on the fact that I'm standing in another person's room after we spent the night together and there's not a single sign of her around. My gut proves to be more helpful than my brain at working out the riddle. With a loud growl, it reminds me that she may well just be getting breakfast. I would have liked to wake up next to her, but maybe it's a good thing that I have a few moments alone. Hanako's room, as always, is quite bleak in appearance. There are precious few decorations and practically no personal artifacts that aren't hidden away in cupboards or drawers. She lived here for 3 years, but the room looks like it's barely even occupied for a single day, even though she spent multiple days here, as we know, because she has a tendency to lock herself in. I shouldn't overthink this. She might just be living this way as some do. Having the ability to put such low stock in physical possessions does have its advantages, but even so, it feels a little disconcerting giving her past. She said she viewed herself as having had her life on hold while at the orphanage. She certainly lives as if she still does, but after what happened last night, it's pretty hard to imagine that she still thinks that way. Sound of the door handle creaks through my thoughts and I turn to face it. Sure enough, Hanako comes through and shuts the door behind her. She had what seems to be 2 microwaved instant meals in her hands, so this is a little difficult. Good morning, Hanako. Morning. She gives a little bow before making her way to her desk, sitting down both plates. I can now see them to be small satay dishes. The contents steaming, with a fork stuck inside the rice of each. I give thanks to her for bringing them in, and we each take one and get down to eating. She sits on her desk chair while I sit on the side of the bed. I don't like talking about eating, so the silence between us isn't annoying in and of itself. It's the fact that it only exists because we don't quite know what to say to each other that's off-putting. Hanako glances towards me every so often as she eats. I only notice her doing so because I'm doing just the same thing. We're eating together as if we were a couple. We had last night, and first for the both of us. Something feels wrong though. Maybe that's why we can't even say a word to each other as we finish our plates and leave them in the sink. Maybe that's why we leave Hanako's room without holding hands or making small talk. Maybe that's why it feels as if we're further apart than we ever been before. The closer we grow, the further we're apart, huh? We enter the classroom, neither of us so much glancing at each other. Just as we do so, I realize that this may have been a mistake. Shizune lifts her eyebrow at the sight, her suspicions raised. We reach the center aisle between the classroom desks and look to each other. I'm not quite sure what I should say. Does she want me to address her as a girlfriend? I don't think our relationship was... Oh. That's why this feels so strange. Yeah! You can't skip this step, buddy! See you. Okay. I awkwardly hold up a hand as we part and take our seat at our respective desks. Can't even look back at her out of embarrassment. I feel like the gulf between Hanako and me is because of me. Ah! Shizune begins to make her way towards me, but then Mudo enters the room. Thank you, Mudo! I'm thankful for his arrival, being so well timed, drawing Shizune and her questioning away to wait for another time. I wouldn't have been able to answer her anyway. I like Hanako, but I've never told her what my feelings for her are. Hanako never said she saw me as anything beyond a friend either. Yet despite that, we slept together. The bell to signal the beginning of lunch rings out. Mudo is taking a little off guard, his chemistry lecture is being cut off mid-sentence, much to his chagrin. For the entirety of the class, his rambling has passed through one ear and out of the other as my mind mulls over the question of Hanako. Can't get her out of my head, and by now, I've managed to wind myself up about it. I realized that she never said yes to what we did. She didn't say no either, but would she have been able to? She's extremely submissive at the best of times, and no doubt it took her a gargantuan effort to show me her scarring. Decided to try and at least make conversation with her. That would be better than the monosyllabic communication that's been the most we've managed between each other so far today. I walk to her desk, intending to chat, but she awkwardly blushes and looks down even before I've come up to her. Take a breath to speak, but find myself lost for words. What in the world should I say to her? Hearing approaching steps, I turn to see Shizune and Misha already making their way towards us. No doubt with the intent to start asking troublesome things. A couple of other classmates are looking at us, gossiping between themselves as they throw sidelong glances. They must have also noticed Hanako and me coming in together earlier. Put my mouth to reassure Hanako, but she preempts me. I gotta do something! Hey, we haven't seen that since the beginning! She got out of her chair and dashes for the door. A couple of the books and pens that were on her desk are sent falling to the floor in her rush. Not many people seem to care about this event. Few look around to see what all the fuss is about, but go back to what they were previously doing soon after. I've left despairingly looking at the door that Hanako disappeared out of. The idea of running after her passes through my mind, but I'm fairly sure that Hanako can run faster than I can. Besides, what would I say once I caught up to her anyway? Eventually, I simply crouched down and began picking up the items that had fallen to the ground from her desk. I feel low in every way, reduced to this as the students passes by me on their way out of the classroom. I feel a tap on my shoulder. I look to see Shizune and Misha looking at me. Curiosity about the situation written on their faces, mixed with a slightly apologetic look at the idea that they were partially responsible for what just happened. He-chan, if we can help at all. I shake my head. This isn't a matter for them, and from Shizune's expression and the tone of Misha's voice, I think they know the same thing. Shizune acknowledges my response and gives a solemn bow before making her way out of the room. Misha soon follows her out, obediently following her role as Shizune's shadow. Pick myself up. That's actually a bad thing to think about, considering she doesn't have a route, and her most appearance is gonna be a Shizune's route. This makes me feel a bit bad. Anyways, I pick myself up, books and pens in hand, and place them inside Hanako's desk. With the classroom now empty, I end up just leaning against her desk and thinking to myself in silence. There was a complete emotional disconnect between Hanako and me. We haven't known each other for all that long. Despite wanting to start going out with her, I really don't know that much about how Hanako views things. I've been studying as hard as I can for exams, but I still don't feel like I have any real sense of direction behind it. Try to be a friend to Hanako, even if I couldn't tell her my feelings. And all we've done is drive each other apart. I couldn't even write a letter back to the one girl who ever loved me, Iwanako. What should I do? What should I do? I simply don't know the answer to either of those questions. I do know that no one else can help me with them. Just going back to the way things were would be enough to make me happy, but I know that it can never happen. Something that changed between us last night. Maybe it changed beforehand and it just came to a head then. I know that there's a wall that Hanako has between me and her. I've been hitting that wall every time I try to interact with her on any level. But now, I'm beginning to think that I have my own wall between us, just as much as she does. She has practically dragged my past out of me, and mine was much less traumatic than hers. Just want to say it's because I haven't had long to adjust since my heart attack, but I know full well it would just be an excuse. The one time I can recall what it really felt like she was opening up to me on her own accord, when we were playing billiards in the city. I was the one who stopped her from going further. I want to know Hanako better. I want to save our friendship, if not being a real relationship with her. But my mind begins to tick as I sit against her desk, thinking to myself in the empty classroom that we spent so much time in together. I have to talk to Hanako. I pace around the park, feelings of anxiety rolling over me. Every so often I reach into my pocket to take out my phone, but each and every time I hesitate and end up slipping it back in. If this were any normal situation, I wouldn't be cutting classes. Fortunately, it isn't, and so I find myself in the town below the school at 2 in the afternoon. Ever since I met Hanako, I've been the one to initiate everything between us. The one that started conversations, went to her whenever she was, and suggested what we should do. Today, this once, I don't want to be the only one doing that. My hand drives into my pocket once more. This time, I quickly navigate to the texting menu before I have a chance to change my mind again. Hanako, if you want to talk, I'll be at the park in town for a while. Finding a last measure of doubt, I thumb in my message to Hanako and press the button to send it. Now, I wait. My part in this has been fulfilled. What needs to happen now is for Hanako to make the decision. It will be meaningless for me to drag her here. She needs to decide for herself whether she wants to meet me. The apple juice from the vending machine tastes awfully bitter as I swirl it down. My grip on the can has caused it to dent slightly in the middle. I shouldn't be this tense, but it's probably inevitable. Hanako is dear to me. What happened in the last couple of days have put a lot of pressure on both of us. The idea of losing all the progress we made in coming closer to one another, losing our friendship as a whole, is deeply unsettling. But even then, I still don't know how close we are. We may have had naughty knots, but before that, all I knew us to be was friends. Maybe even more than that, but if so, I never realized it. Maybe that's why I feel so uneasy now. I don't understand Hanako, despite all the time we spent together. The minutes are ticking by, and I still have no idea whether she'll show up. Hisao? Pause for a moment, almost not believing that I'm hearing the voice I am hearing. Drop the can and stand up with a start. Hanako. We look at each other for a few seconds, before Hanako becomes too embarrassed to maintain eye contact, begin to nervously fiddle with the roughly cut lock of her hair covering the side of her face. When I went to see Hanako in her room by herself after a breakdown, I had no idea what to say. That was fine then. All either of us wanted was each other's presence. Now though, I feel like I need to talk to her directly. I want to break down this wall between us before it forces us apart for good. Hanako, for what we did last night, how should I interpret that? Hanako starts playing with her hair and looks at me. Her head cast slightly downwards. She looks ashamed, which is probably a good mirror of how I would look now if I weren't so concerned. I thought you might eventually go away if I was only someone you needed to protect. I thought that if I let you do that, you might see me as someone more than that. My reaction is disbelief, but I did do it with her after all. I had plenty of opportunities where I could have stopped things, stepped back, and questioned what we were doing. In the end, though, I didn't. Horrible feeling rises in the pit of my stomach. She offered herself to me because of what she thought I wanted. Now, it feels like I took advantage of her. She may have been willing, but only under false premises. I've never been good at hiding my emotions from physically showing, and now is no different. Hanako looks down once more, a strange mixture of depression, regret, and sickness written into her face. Thick silence hangs in the air, save for the breeze blowing through the trees around us. I knew you couldn't look at me that way. Hanako's words are said in a little more than a whisper, seemingly directed just as much as herself as to me. In what way? What do you mean? All I ever was to you was a useless person. Just someone to protect someone like a child. I wanted to be more to you than that, but after so long, I got used to it. The tone of her voice is unlike any I've heard her use before. She sounds disgusted, not at me, but at herself. After I came out of my room, I saw that you had started drifting away. I feel like I was going to lose you because you wanted someone you could have that kind of relationship with. You were more quiet in school than before, and you're getting on so well with Yuko, I thought that I might lose you. She thought I was bored of her because I wanted a romantic relationship? But we're friends, right? I wouldn't just abandon you like that, even if what you were saying was true. Friendship was something I thought I'd given up on. I stopped believing in others after what happened after the incident. Before the accident happened, I got on well with other people and other children. I didn't have many friends, but I didn't mind because I treasured the ones that I had. Afterwards, though, I was called names by the others and teased a lot. It hurt really deeply. The teachers tried to help me, but they couldn't do much, and even many of them recoiled just at the sight of me. Among those calling me names and teasing were the ones that I thought were my closest friends. From then on, I believed that it didn't matter if nobody else acknowledged me. All my existence ever did was make people troubled, after all. It was easier if I just didn't exist. But after meeting Lily and then you, I tried, but I couldn't make myself think that way again. After all that time, she didn't trust me. She thought, just like everyone else in her life, life had, that she was worthless. Something to throw away once I got bored of being with her. That hurts. That's the one kind of person I never, ever wanted to be seen as. Because I know better than most just how horrible it feels to be thrown away by those who I thought liked me. She's cackling from the memories she's bringing up. I feel useless, completely unable to console her. In a strange way, though, I'm almost thankful that she's allowing me to know this. The wall between us is going away, even if it's hurt so badly to bring it down. Hanako, if you had just told me. Was I wrong? Of course you. She wasn't. Hanako wasn't wrong. It's difficult to force myself to admit this, but I know trying to deny it is pointless. To me and Lily, she was someone we tried to protect. She had become to me what I became to my friends after my heart attack. A broken person. I liked her, possibly even loved her, but I never acted on that precisely because I thought she was so fragile. I mean, I don't look at you that way now. I got worried about you after what happened to you in class, and I thought I should try to protect you. When you locked yourself in your room, though, I got afraid. I thought you were rejecting me, and it forced me to think a lot about different things. I wasn't rejecting you, she blurted out as if almost scared tone in her voice, taking me off guard. She quickly becomes embarrassed of her outburst before clenching her fist and walking through what she wants to say in her mind. I wouldn't ever do that. Not to you. Even though I was scared, even though I tried to push you away, you still tried to get closer to me. I locked myself away because I was just a burden to you, to Lily, to everyone. Every birthday was the same. Everyone doing their best to pretend that I mattered. Everyone pretending everything was alright for that one day of the year. I didn't want to exist, but they wouldn't let me. Even after meeting Lily, everything was the same. I was as useless as I've always been, unable to do anything for her or for myself. I didn't want to be the same way to you. Lily and I were completely wrong. From what she said, everything we did for her, it would have only made her feel worse. Even what little I thought I had right about her was a complete misjudgment. After you locked yourself in your room, I decided to try to work out my past as well, and sort out my future. I didn't know how to deal with the things I lost by coming to Yamaku, so I was trying to sort them out myself. I thought it would help us become better friends if I did that. Silence hangs in the air again. I try to keep looking at her, but I can't. I feel really low, and even though I want to apologize, I don't know how I possibly could. I hear her take a deep breath, and only look back to her after hearing her drop to the ground. The sound of her crying breaks my heart. I know I'm responsible for this, and I know that I can't do anything to help her. Hanako feels ashamed, then I feel all the more so. I wish to her as tears continue to roll down her cheeks, unabated, wrapping my arms around her. I don't care about how I must look anymore. I just want to be close to her right now. I'm sorry, Esau. I messed up everything. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm the one that should be sorry. I was meddling around behind your back and I never told you anything. Feel my grip tightening on Hanako as my vision blurries. I can't be bothered trying to hold back now. I have to force my words out as a lump begins to stick in my throat. Tell you the truth, Hanako. I'm scared. For the first time since my heart attack, I was really scared. Hisao? I lost so much when I came to Yamaku. It's depending on you more than I ever thought I did. Even now, I still have that hole inside me. Losing my entire life and everyone I had known, the thought of losing you as well. But I'm just useless. You're my friend, Hanako. No, you're more than that. I love you, Hanako. I love you so much that the thought of losing you frightened me so much. This is bad. I'm really letting all this out. I can't bring myself to look at her face right now. I'm sorry, Hisao. I can't help feeling a bit happy. For so long, that's what I wanted to hear. That's when the floodgate breaks. Instead of her crying, pre-meeting the air as her body jerks against mine. Hold each other tightly, connected more closely than ever in our shared grief and our shared happiness. I don't know how things are going to be like after this. Right now, though, I don't care. There's no other person in the world that either of us could possibly share these memories and emotions with. Nobody. After dropping the dirtied can into... After dropping the dirty can into the bin next to the bench, I take a seat beside Hanako. She puts away the handkerchief I gave her to clean herself up, which hasn't helped much. Then again, I doubt I look much more presentable. Even now, I feel emptied and a bit embarrassed after letting my emotions out in public like that. It's not a bad sensation, though. I think Hanako feels the same way, too. There's still quite a bit, though. Have you calmed down a bit? Yes, thank you. For a while, we just sit back and take our time before talking again to one another. We both need a little time to collect ourselves. The weather is nice at this time of year. Yeah, it is. Close my eyes for a moment, releasing the feelings of the sun heat and the cool breeze against my face. The weather really is nice today. Really, really nice. You know, I don't really want to go back to classes right now. Do you? She shakes her head as she finishes wiping her eyes off of her cuff. The small smile she gives is nice, and it's a reminder of how earnest it can be. Smiling for other people might be a completely normal, everyday thing. For Hanako, though, she smiles so rarely and so sincerely that each and every time she does, I feel a sense of relief and happiness. I'm sorry for everything. It's okay. I think we both have a bit to be sorry for. I know that. I'm too shy. I know that you want me to be. I don't think I can. You can change, Hanako. I know that because even in the time I've known you, you've already changed. To be honest, just being able to sit here and talk to you like this means that you've changed a lot since we first met. But I can't be like that for anyone else. I don't have any plans for after school ends either. Hanako's confession begins to slide down again. But I think that now I can finally talk to her as an equal. I can do it because I know that we're just the same in so many ways. Just give yourself time and I'll think you'll be able to achieve what you want. No, I'm not sure that you'll be able to do it. I can see that you've been trying and I have faith in you. But no, I'm sure that you'll be able to do it. I can see you've been trying and I have faith in you. And you can depend on me if you feel like you need someone to support you, you know. But I can't ask that of you. You can, because that's exactly what I'm asking up for of you. I'm going through the same thing, you know. It's called love. Hanako smiles before I get off my bench and dust myself off. She does the same in short measure. I'm kind of hungry. Wanna grab something to eat? She nods vigorously. The way she's smiling, the way she's acting, even just the general air she gives off, I feel as if this is the first time I've seen her genuinely happy. We both make our way onto the street, walking beside each other.
Hisao,
Yeah?
I think I don't really understand you.
I don't think I understand you either. I believe that's fine though. That's not a single hint of despair in our voices. Not understanding each other is only natural. The walls we set up between ourselves couldn't possibly be broken down in a single day. But that's fine. As long as we take it day by day and try to understand one another, I think everything will be okay. As we walk down the street though, Hanako's eyes flick to my face and back to the street repeatedly. Something on your mind? You look restless. She slows before stopping completely. When I turn to meet her, she takes a long, deep breath, looking at my face intently. This expression. I saw it once before on her face. Just once. When I accidentally surprised her in her room.
I think I have something I need to give you.
What is it? You don't need to be evasive about it.
I wanted to give you this for a long time now, but now that I need to, it's too embarrassing.
Don't worry, I'll accept it, whatever it is. She gives a sweet, bashful smile before taking my shoulder in her hand.
Then please accept my first gift to you, Hisao.
Hanako? Kiss, 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 kiss! Oh, passerbys! People are staring in front of the muffin shop. Oh, there's a skip button down here. There we did it. That was Hanako's route. Ooh. Oh, that was fun. Hanako! Are these like only designs for Hanako? It makes sense considering we just completed Hanako's route, so. So yeah, Lily just kind of vanishes. Oh, Lily's gonna have a surprise when she gets back. But that was 1 of 5 routes. And if I recall, those actually like ways to fail this as well. So there's more than just that. Am I gonna do the other routes? Yes, I don't know when though. I will admit to that. I was originally planning on live streaming the rest of them because that would be a bit easier, but because of the naughty knot, I kinda can't. Oh, I don't get anything extra? Ah, fuck. Wait, I'm missing a star there. Okay, and this looks like to be the start of Lily's. Ack! I forgot they showed the gallery for the nude scenes. Why? But yeah, no, as you can see. Oh, scars. Wait a minute. So if I call her, so this is the separation point. If I don't follow Lily's words, things change. Okay, I'm gonna have to watch that later then. And I close the game. Not exactly what I meant. But anyways, black screen then. Hey, this is gonna be it for this time. This is Resung the Drug Gamer. I hope you enjoyed the series so far and hope to see all you guys again next time. See you guys when I don't know what I'm doing. See you guys then.